Welcome back, traders, to the second portion of our show. We have Chris Banier stepping in for Dennis this morning to help us out on the market movers. Chris, how you doing this morning?
Doing pretty good. Getting ready for this day to start.
All right, man. We got a lot of market movers here, so let's get right to it. Starting with Coca-Cola. Looks like it beats the street by a penny. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of excitement in the stock yet this morning. It's trading up 38 cents. When I'm taking a look at that stock, it seems to me that there's been a seller stepping in at this $68 level. Above that, things really open up, but I think it's going to have a hard time getting to 68 today. Coming back on the downside, I'd like to see us hold a settlement here at 67.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that, Joel. It looks the 68 looks pretty tough out there today.
Okay, Bank of America swings to a profit, and who really cares? Okay, maybe Warren Buffett, but it's trading up a little bit here. It's trying to stay above that 52-week low that it made last week at 513. Really, you have three lower highs, Chris: 628, 636, and 644. So just call that 636 area major resistance. I think it's going to have a hard time getting through that today.
Yeah, I really just don't see upside on these bank stocks. It looks like a good support at 550. That may be a buying level down there, but in the end, it is a financial stock.
Okay. Moving on to something you're a little bit more familiar with, moving into the tech sector. IBM, I mean, it's getting punished here. Its profits were up, but if its revenues disappoint, they really took that thing out to the woodshed. I got a bunch of numbers here that I have on the site as low as going back, but I think what I'll use for a swing number this morning is 178, and it got below that in the pre-market. There was a panic bottom at 177.04. So, but really, since it made that low and the bounce, 178 really seems to be holding. Any feeling on this stock today?
Yeah, the street really didn't like the numbers. It was trading down, like you said, close to $8 there this morning. It's trying to bump its head up against the 180. It looks like that was kind of the breakout range that it had when stocks really started to erupt there in the past week or so. If it can bump up above that, it may be a level that you may be interested in dipping your toe in.
Yeah, maybe sweat it out between the 178 and the 180 levels, see which way it decides to go. Moving on to J&J, profit down but sales up. That stock has just been winding itself into a tizzy here. Dennis and I have been talking about the 500,000 share seller at 65. Where a bunch of the HFT guys have been stepping in, selling ahead of it with the cover, when it comes back down. I'm just waiting to see the 63.50 to 65 area. I mean, I think it's pretty much no man's land between those two levels. You got any feeling for that stock today?
I'd have to agree with you, Joel. It is wound tighter than you know what. If it could break through that 65, though, you could see some solid upside. Maybe bump its head against the 67.50.
Okay, now I know the next company we're talking about. I know you have several pairs of those shoes. Crocs, guys the street lower. I mean, ever since I saw people wearing those things, I'm like, why would anybody but like a 5-year-old kid wear those things? But obviously a lot of people have been wearing them, and then a lot of people decided to stop wearing them. I see this 1788 level is a low back in April, and then you have another low at 1639. This stock is going to have a hard time recouping a lot of that ground that it lost. I'm actually looking at a pre-market low at 1665. We're currently above that, rallying up here now towards the $18 level. I'd like to see, the range between those two stocks, maybe trying to short here at 18 and buying once we get back down to that 1665 level.
This really looks like a kitchen sink kind of trade here where we may see a capitulatory volume on this stock, and if it can maybe stay around the 1750 you may see a buying opportunity. It's just really hammered.
It's hammered. It's down at, a third of its value. I mean, shorts that have maybe waiting for this thing to come in, definitely may be using. That's a good point. One stock that's doing pretty good today, Parker Hannifin, beats the street. I'm looking at major resistance here up at this 74.87 level. We broke above that level. Currently trading at 76.40, up 370. I don't know. Is this thing overdone on the upside, like Crocs may be overdone on the downside?
Parker Hannifin beats by 22 cents and has good guidance going forward. That 75 looked like major resistance there through this whole channeling range-bound market that we've had. Looks like it's going through that. Could potentially work its way up to the 200-day moving average, which is there's nothing but air in there. Maybe up to the $80 mark, $82 mark.
Yeah, I was just looking at this $80 level, and that was 80.64 was the high back in August. So boy, that'd be one heck of a move. But just for your listeners, just as far as the pre-market goes, I mean, this thing just gapped up. It's traded as high as 76.99. That's currently where it's trading. And then since the news has been out, it's traded 74.77. So those are a couple parameters for you to use. And then our last market mover, one of our old favorites, Goldman Sachs. This stock has just been taken out, tarred and feathered, made it fresh 52-week low here a few days ago, kind of the panic low at 84.27. It's bounced up nicely. What I would alert our listeners to is this $98 level. 98.02 was the high in the 13th. You also have a high at 97.84 and a 97.89. So with these decimals, that's about as much as you could call as a triple top. If it busts through 98, this thing's definitely got some upside to test the figure, or maybe the 4-day high at 101.13. Coming back on the downside, we're quite a ways away from that. The 94.50 level is major, but before that, we'll see if we can hold settlement, 96.90. I would use that. I'd be trying it from the long side until we broke down below settlement.
Yeah, looking at the chart, the 100 definitely looks like some serious resistance there, but it came out, missed by 68 cents, and it's currently trading up in the pre-market. I'd be interested to see where it trades end of day, and if it's trading higher end of day, that may be a signal that this stock definitely had some legs for the upside.
Yeah, I definitely use that 98 as a swing number in Goldman Sachs. Well, Chris, thank you very much for filling in at late notice here for Dennis. You did an excellent job. I didn't force you into any wagers yet on stock prices because Dennis basically won't do it anymore because, I'm basically right every time. But we'll do the show a few more times, and I'm sure I'll be able to get you into some kind of minor wager.
Absolutely. You want to get in one real quick? Apple, above 420 or below 420 after the numbers?
What do their numbers do?
After the bell tonight.
After the bell today. As much as I like to say things are going down, I mean, how could you bet against this stock? But Absolutely. How about a longer term perspective? How about 402 before 442?
Yeah, it'll probably go to 402. It's bouncing like it's a pure rubber ball right now. What goes up must come down.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to make money short in this stock. I mean, you just got to use the levels. I mean, I think we're still good to go if we hold above the 416 level. But, all right, Chris, no wager yet, but I'm sure we'll get something later in the week. And, thanks again. Have a good day.
Thank you.